Okay, so today I thought we have to put it all together. We have to go through what we should be doing at night. And, you know, the home things are left to the woman. The spirituality of Shabbat is really entrusted in the woman's care. And they say that, you know, that your table is your altar. So it's very interesting that about the rules. And I had some words. I mean, you can get to that when more people are on. But I thought by now, some of the vocabulary might be getting a little familiar, some of the important words. So later we'll go over them. But we start. So I'm going to ask you one thing to be honest on. The honest thing I'm going to ask you is when I ask you to read something, really read it, because I may ask you a question about the reading. I mean, it's wonderful if you can recite these blessings by heart, but we're really trying to read. So that will make it that much more meaningful for you if you actually can do both, if you know it by heart, but the heart will help you. But as we said, sometimes that's that old for Richard Sands, you know, in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, we may not be saying the words 100%. And I am trying to teach you exactly how to say them correctly. And the thing is that the blessings, the words in the blessings are meaningful. So if you are mispronouncing it, it's not exactly the blessing. So we really want to say these things correctly. Today, I'm going to try to go over, hi, Janice, the first part. Nice to see you.
Thank
Just
you. You
checking
too. Sorry, I'm
everybody in.
late. I'm going to be on and off as well. I'm going to just put myself.
Everybody's busy. Not a problem.
Okay, thank
Not a
you.
problem. Don't worry about it in the least. So anyway, there's that first part that I said that I honestly, I don't usually do that on Friday night, but I want you to know it. And there's a lot of, Francis, you're in 2 spots. Okay, now you're in 1 spot. So there's a lot of repetition, both in that first part of the Kiddush and in what we probably are more familiar with, the Kiddush, because the first line says the blessing on Borei Pri Hagafen at the end. Then all of us have heard that at least sometime in our lives. If not on Shabbat, then maybe on a holiday, or maybe in shul when they do the Kiddush. So some people just say that one line, which is okay. And some people do the part before and the whole of the Kiddush. Let me just get yarmulke, hold on. Okay, my dog is sickly, so we have to take her out, and I took her out recently and I forgot to put this on. And there is Rhoda. Very good. Okay. All right, so let me just check that I have everybody. I've got Beryl, Francis, Helene, Michelle, Rhoda, and Sherry. I got it. Okay, and anybody else who joins us. All right, so if you downloaded what I sent, what I did was honestly cut and paste, real cut and paste with the scissors and Scotch tape. And I went through what I made a list of what I actually wanted to teach you. And then I just pulled out those parts. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Carol. How are you? Shabbat
Good.
shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom. So that's why it looks a little, maybe not the way your prayer book looks, but it's the way I wanted you to have in one place the whole script. So you didn't have to go looking in your prayer book, and this could be your study sheet, your guide sheet, okay? So we start at the beginning with what probably the blessing you know most by heart since you were small. If you went to Hebrew school, or even if you just had a mother or grandmother or aunt who used to do this, then they call it benching licht in Yiddish, benching, blessing over lights, over the candles. It's time to bench licht. That would be in Yiddish, what a grandmother or someone who knows Yiddish would say.
Carol, you sent it under a different email. I just want to find it. What did you send yesterday? Puppies, something with puppies. I didn't get it.
6 months.
6
No,
words.
that's me. No, of what I sent you, Francis,
Everyone, it was under something with puppies. I didn't see it under your name. I just want to be able to pull that up
No,
again.
what's under my 6 months? That's my email, 6 months.
6 months.
Okay.
That's me, 6 months. And what's your email? I have everybody's email, so,
No, I saw something on, but usually I'll get it on, I see it now. Okay.
okay,
I
yeah.
need to bring
All
it up.
right, so that's the first thing. Is there anybody who really wants to really read the blessing on the candles? Okay, and now we're on daylight savings here in New York, and we're so there was an event at the synagogue, and I called a fellow up who was running, and I said, people may show up an hour early. And now Shabbat is getting earlier and earlier, and probably somewhere in the first or second week in December will be the shortest day for sunlight. Well, I
Well,
don't like
it's
that.
still morning here.
Oh, wow. All right, so who wants to, Sherry? Okay, I want you to really read it, okay?
All right.
Scouts
You don't
honor,
want me
there
to
you go.
chant it, you just want me to read it.
I want you to really read it, because if you chant it, it's memory.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. This is right.
So
Asher.
far, perfect.
Can I just
Asher
say,
Kedishanu.
did you say ha-olam or cha-olam?
I said.
Ha'olam, she's
Ha-olam,
good,
okay, my ears didn't hear that. Okay,
right?
thank you.
Okay, keep going.
Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvah tov v'tzivanu l'chadnik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay. I would give you 99% on that one. There's one word, which is probably one of the most difficult words in Hebrew, and it is the only time we have an exception with the word mitzvot and b'mitzvot and b'mitzvotav. And I wanted to point that out. That's why I particularly asked about the reading. Another day, maybe next week, I will go over the words that end with yud vav. The words that end in, look at the word b'mitzvotav.
So are you saying tav is correct or tov is correct?
No, tav is
Tav,
perfectly
like
correct.
it looks.
Okay,
Okay.
because when you have a yud and a vav together, the yud is silent. So you don't say b'mitzvo tayiv. No, the yud is totally silent. So forget about it
Okay.
being there. It's only there grammatically because it means his mitzvahs. So we have
We
be,
don't have this.
mitzvo, tav. So there's two problems in this word. The yud is silent at the end, so it's pronounced like AV, tav. Now, the word mitzvot, the way it's spelled, and I told you it's got to be in Hebrew, a letter with a vowel. The letter has a dancing partner, which is a vowel. So we have a bet with a shva, that's b. We have a mem with an e vowel, b, me. We have a tzadi, which is the end of the syllable with a shva. So we have b, meets. The end, let's leave the vav alone for now. We have a tav and an a vowel, ta, and at the end we have a vet, a vav, tav. So what do we do with that vav with the dot on the top? So it's b'mitz. Now everybody had partners with the bet, the mem, and the tzadi. So the rule is you see a shva and an it's kamatz. When that vav comes between two vowels, it's going to be a letter. It's a vav. And the vowel is the dot. Remember the O sound could be a vav and a dot or just a dot. So we have be, mitz. So now that's really a vav that's sounded. Yo vodio do. It's vo, the mitz, vo, tav. That came between two vowels, the vowel under the tzadi, the vowel under the tav. It is now, and this is the only example that this happens in the word, in any forms of it, mitzvot, b'mitzvotav, and so you don't have to worry about it in any other place. This is it. So it's b'mitzvotav. B'mitzvotav. So say b'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav. Say it again.
B'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav. Okay, so that is a weird, that's an exception to all the rules. And that word is the only one where you're going to see that with that funny, with the vav and the dot. But that vav is a sounded vav. It's a v, and the dot is an o. B'mitzvotav. The vav needs a vowel, and the dot is its vowel. B'mitzvotav. And the yud at the end is silent. Okay, so this is a difficult word in reading. Somebody else, that was very good. Toda rabah. Thank you. Somebody else wants to.
I have a question.
Anytime. What?
On Kidshanu,
Mhm.
it's not, is it Kiddushanu or Kidshanu?
Okay, you know, the shva, when it's sounded and when it's
Yeah.
silent, there's a very small difference between them. So sometimes cantors, you know, in the chanting, it might make sense to have that extra little vowel. It's Baruch Kid Shanu. It's the end of the syllable. Kid
Okay.
Shanu. Technically, it's silent. It's a silent shva. Kid
Okay.
Shanu. If people say Asher Kiddush Shanu, well, you're going to hear everybody say that from memory. That's the way people learned it. Maybe their mothers and their grandmothers said it like that. Asher Kid Shanu, b'mitzvotav.
That's how I learned it. You know, it's memory. It's
Yeah.
It is. It's long-term
it's
memory.
70 plus years of saying it that way.
And
How my
it's not
mother-
incorrect. It's not incorrect. There you go. Your Bobby taught you. And then it's the Sivanu. The Sivanu. All right. So the tzadi has, so the vav has a shva under it, and the tzadi has a chirik, an e, vitzi, and the vanu that has a vowel under it. It's a vav. Vitzi, sounded vav. Vitzi vanu. Lahad, that's the end. Lahad, it's not lahada, it's the end of the syllable. Lahad, leak, ner, ner is the candle, shell, Shabbat. Okay, somebody else want to try it. Sherry, you want to try it? Sherry Rubin, Sherry Lynn. From Sherry to Sherry, there's none like Sherry.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Mitsuyan, excellent, A+, perfect. Okay, it sounds wonderful. She observed the rule with the end of the syllable, with the shva. It was really great. Who else wants to? Helene, do you want to try it?
Sure.
Sure, she
Baruch.
said, looking.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahad lik ner shel Shabbat.
Excellent, really terrific. Who else wants to try? Step right up. 3 shots for a quarter.
I'll do
Michelle.
it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Great, perfect reading, really beautiful. Okay, so now this root with mitzvah and v'tzivanu, that is from the word commandment. Mitzvot are really, the translation is the commandments, the 613 mitzvot. Okay, not really good deeds. Its real translation is commandment. So when it says v'tzivanu, it means and he, God, commanded us to kindle lahadlik ner, the candle, shell of Shabbat. Okay, we've been commanded. This is one of the mitzvahs, and it's traditionally known as one of the women's mitzvahs. Although a boy is at college and his mother usually, and is from an observant home, and his mother usually, and the grandmother or whoever, sister, lights the candles. He can have Shabbat candles and he can light it. In the absence of a woman, a man can comply with the mitzvah. See? So it's still fulfilled, still considered as being done. All right. But generally, the woman, and they put a shmata, I put a yarmulke on, and you close your eyes. And my daughter used to say, if she's would close it and said, "Oh, candles, and they're lit too." So you say the blessing, and then like, oh, surprise. Okay, you light the candles, right? And then you close your eyes and you say the blessing, and like, oh, it's magic. Elaine?
Could you explain the purpose or the significance of doing this with the fire, with the candles?
Yes, yeah. You are welcoming the angels of Sabbath and the Shabbat, the spirit of Shabbat, into your house. Why 3 times? I don't know, but a lot of times we do three things. And then you cover your eyes and you light the candle, light them, cover your eyes, and then light candles, and they're lit too. Okay, yeah. And what I've done too in the Shalom Aleichem, Shalom, and it says, and go. There's a myth, there's a story that if the angels come, they visit your home on Shabbat and they see that you have wine and you have challah and you have a nice meal and everything is done, candles, that they like bless you. But if they come and they see everything is like a hellion, it's a mess and everything, they don't bless you. So they come in, Boachem come in, angels, Boachem Shalom, come in, peace, you angels, and then V'tseitchem, and go in peace. Okay, come in peace and go in Shalom Aleichem. V'tseitchem. So those, you don't have to do that, but that's what some people do. And I've taken that of V'tseitchem and go. You came, you saw candles, you saw wine, you saw yarmulkes, everything is good, a nice meal, go in peace. Gegas into hate. Okay, go in good.
Carol, can I also ask you a question, please? When I bless the candles, I've always gone like this, outwards. Am I doing it incorrectly? I've seen other
It's
people do it
supposed to be
differently.
bringing the peace in. It's
So I'm
like
supposed to
this,
go around
bringing the-
like anti-clockwise, not clockwise. I've always done clockwise.
Well, just put your hands out and
Yeah,
like
it's like this. I've
pulling
always
it
gone like
forward,
that.
rowing. Yeah, don't push it out. Bring it in. Bring the peace.
Bring it in. Okay, I've been doing it wrongly all my years.
That's okay. It was acknowledged as a good deed.
Thank you.
Okay, now
Another
family
question.
blessings.
Another question.
Yes,
on that.
Sherry Lynn.
Okay. My husband's family, and I started doing this too. We, when we do this, we say Baruch Shemo.
That means blessed is his name. Are they Lubavitch?
No.
Okay, in a lot of like in when you say the a prayer for the dead, when you and a lot of prayers, when they mention God's name, they go in synagogue, they do this all the time, and we say Baruch Shemo.
Okay,
So
Shemo
blessed is his name. It's nothing wrong. That's a little add-on, a little, family custom, that's perfect. Okay, families have their different customs. So when you say Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Shemo, you just said God's name, Baruch Shemo. Okay, blessed is his name. After you say God's name, and then they say Baruch Shemo, blessed is his name. Listen for that when you go to synagogue. You'll hear that in the blessings. Okay, we're up to family blessings. So whether you distinguish between banim and banot, sons and daughters, or you just bless the family. So here, this is designating a blessing to sons and a blessing daughters. If you want to take that out and just want to bless the family, that's the last piece. And I'll tell you what we do in our house, which is something nice too. Okay, so this is a time to take stock, to be with your family. We're rushing all week, we're working, kids going to school, we slap a meal on the table, we do something fast, right? Whatever, take out. Now is the time to like simmer down. And it's actually a time to confront your children face to face. They're not having their phones in their ear or their hands on a Game Boy or something. And you're blessing them once a week. You're telling them that you are giving them blessings and that you love them. I mean, that's really pretty extraordinary. We take the time on Friday. And I think I told you once before, I once was blessing my children in absentia. and my son was in Virginia, so I went this way. My daughter was in Pennsylvania, and I blessed this way. And another son was in Rhode Island, I went this way. And then the daughter was in Astoria this way. So I was actually making the sign of the cross. I was going north, south, east, what? And I said, well, I blessed them anyway. And I said the blessing. It was just struck me as funny. Okay, so the blessing. So this is the one for sons. Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim V'Chimenashe. Did anyone catch any of the names there that are biblical?
Yes.
names,
Ephraim and
sons?
Menashe.
Ephraim and Menashe. Were Ephraim and Menashe. Okay. Ephraim and Menashe were sons of whom?
Isaac.
No?
Abraham? No.
Ephraim and Menashe, sons of Joseph.
Joseph.
In Egypt, Ephraim and Manasseh. And then there was a fast, a blessing, and hands were crossed, and then and his father says to him, Jacob, you blessing the younger one. He's because he, instead of putting his hands, remember he was blind, instead of putting his hands straight like this, he crossed his hands. Jacob. Okay. So Yisimcha Elohim, Elohim, you know, right? Elohim, God's name. Yisimcha Elohim, like Ephraim, and like Menashe. So you see Menashe. So Hebrew is all kinds of suffixes and prefixes. Here we have the prefixes. So we have like Ephraim, and like Menashe. All right, so that's the way it is. They put all these little pieces on the prepositions and whatnot on the front of words. So let's just say this. Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim V'Chimenashe. So the kaf changed to a chaf. It has no dot, and it's grammatical because there's a vav in front of it. V'Chimenashe. Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim V'Chimenashe. God should make you like Ephraim and Menashe. Okay, that's the blessing because they were good sons, apparently. For the daughters, Yisimech, and so it's a different form. It's for female. Yisimech. Make sure you get that sin, okay? Because the dot's on the left, it's a sin. Yisimech, Elohim, Kusara, like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Rachel, Leah. Leah always gets short shrift. Leah was the one who was unloved by Jacob, right? Her husband didn't really love her, and he really worked for 21 years to get her sister, Rachel. And she's at the end of the line. Again, she's always at the end. So she was unloved, but she was very fertile. She had a lot of the tribes between her and her maidservant that were a lot of the daughters, a lot of the sons, only one daughter, Dinah, but a lot of the sons, Jacob's sons. Okay. So now we have, again, Yisimech, Elohim, Kusara, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel. And when we do the Amidah, if we do the Amidah with the name of the matriarchs, we pray with the names of Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And she's on the end. Leah, poor Leah on the end. Okay, does somebody want to try the blessing for the sons? Somebody who has sons? All right, Beryl, go for it.
Yeah, I have sons and grandsons, that's it. So. Simcha Elohim Ephraim V'hi Menasa.
V'chim Menashe, 3 dots is tet. V'chim Menashe. Very good. Very nice. Somebody else who wants to try it.
I'll do it.
Francis, you want to try? Who said I'll do it?
Janice.
All right, Sherry. Who was?
Yesimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'chim Naseh.
Very nice. Very nice. One more person want to try it? Who else has some sons there? Rhoda, you want to try it?
I have a daughter.
I have a daughter. All right. Michelle,
Sure.
go ahead.
Yesimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'Ki Menashe.
Okay. Did anyone see one slight mistake? Anyone pick it up?
V'chim Nashe.
Exactly.
vacuum.
Okay. When there's no dot, we have to say ch. It's a chaf. When there is a dot in that rounded letter, it's a k. It's a kaf. So k Ephraim v'chim Menashe. It still means like Manasseh, but grammatically, because of what comes in front of it, the vav, it has to change. Okay. But it's the same word, same exact thing. Okay, so the daughters, Yesimech, now it's different, it's female. Elohim, Kasara, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. Who wants to try the daughters? Go ahead, Rhoda, you do it. You have a
Thank
daughter.
you very much. Okay. Yasimech, Elohim, Kasara, it's Sarah, it's Kasara. Is that right? I'm not saying it right. It doesn't sound right.
Kasara. The
Kasara.
accent is on the first. Kasara.
Okay. Kasara, Rivka. No, I know Rivka, Rachel, Valea.
Very good. Now you see what a different experience it is saying it by heart and actually reading it. So when you're saying it by heart is one thing. When you're actually reading it, like it's the horse came to jumping over like a hurdle, right? And like you said, wait a minute, that's not what I'm always been saying, but it is. It really is, and you really can read it, and you should read it. So you had Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah.
Yeah.
The matriarchs. Okay.
Yep.
They talk about the forefathers, and I say these are the 3 mothers, the 4 mothers. It's like the four mothers, patriarchs, the forefathers.
What
but
is
there's
the
only
word?
3. There's only 3 forefathers. There's
What's
not 4
that
of them.
first word?
Yesimech.
Yeah, what
Yes.
does that mean?
To make you like. May you be like.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
it's
may you be
still around the-
like, okay.
May you like.
May you be like Sarah.
Vincent,
Yeah.
like Esther.
Oh, yeah.
May
Okay.
you okay. May you be like.
Thank you.
Yud is really, it's a future. You will be made like, God will make you like. Okay, that would be the translation. Okay, very good. Now, so if you don't want to have special blessing on the sons and the daughters, you just want to bless your family. Okay, and that's your preference, and that's fine. Now, what we do we make a circle if there's more than my husband and myself, or I put my hand on his head and he puts his hand on me, blessing on our kepis. If we have 3 or 4 people, if the kids are here or company, we make a little circle and everybody puts a hand, right and left hand on a person next to them on the head. So we're all blessing each other. And Yivarechacha Adonai, Yishmerecha, Ya'er, Adonai, Panav, there's that Yud Vav again, and you pronounce that Panav, Elecha, V'chuneka. Now, another one. So it ends, it has a final chaf. This is one of the rare exceptions when the final chaf has a dot.
Wow.
And you pronounce it like ka. It's v'chuneka. There are very few times when that happens.
You say it's pronounced ka, like ka, not the ch.
Ka, not cha. If it didn't have a dot, it would be
I'm
cha.
still not hearing it. Say it again for me, Carol.
The, hu, ne, ka.
Ka, like a K.
Uh-huh,
Okay,
ka.
okay.
Like it's K-A, not
Okay.
cha, even though there's a final cha, because this is an
Okay.
exception, one of the rare exceptions. Okay, V,
Hu,
hu,
ne,
ne, ka.
ka.
That is the right way to say it.
Like Hanukkah. Oh, and you could say
Right.
Hanukkah the same way with the CH too, though. Okay, ka,
V,
ka.
hu, ne, ka. Yisa,
Okay.
Adonai,
Adonai.
Hanav. Now, in Yiddish, you say, oh, you're zis punim. Punim is a face in Yiddish. In Hebrew, it's very close because Yiddish and Hebrew share a lot of words. Panim. Panim is your face.
Panim.
And it's plural because like we say cheeks, cheeks. Okay, panim. But the word is panav. That means his face. God will put Yisa Adonai, God will put his face upon you. He will, some translation said he will shine his face upon you, but he will lift. Yisa means he will lift. He will lift up his face on you. So that word is panav. And the yud is silent, like b'mitzvotav. When you see a yud and a vav, that yud is always silent, and you're just going to hear the vav. Panav. Forget the yud is there. Okay, Elecha, V'yasem, Lecha, Shalom. Shalom. I'm going to say it again. Listen. Yevarechecha, Adonai. Okay, so that you see the Baruch in the middle. God will bless. God will bless you. Yevarechecha, Adonai. The Yishmerecha. And he will watch over you. Ya'er, Adonai, Panav, Elecha, Vichunecha, Yisa, Adonai, Panav, Elecha, V'yasem, Lecha,
Shalom.
Okay, so he will lift up and he will shine his face on you and lift up his face and shine it upon you, and he will give you peace. He will bless you and guard you, and he will shine his face on you and give you peace. This is a very, very beautiful blessing. And if you have company, like my son's, when his best friend comes over, we say, come here, Boychik, and I put my hand on his head, and he's like one of the family. Whoever comes, they make this circle and we put hands on heads. It's just a beautiful blessing. Who wants to try that? Who wants to try this one?
I'll try.
All right, Sherry Lynn, hit it.
Yevarechecha, no, Yevarecha Adonai ve'ish merecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha, v'hunecha, Isa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasim
Same.
lecha shalom.
Excellent. Yeah. So there's a couple of, difficult words there, even though this is one of the things that we say a lot. Somebody else want to try it?
I'll try it.
Is that Janice?
Yes.
Good.
Yevarecha.
Okay.
Adonai.
Yevarechecha. You have to pronounce every letter. Okay. Shva.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
This shva when it's sounded has a sound of it. of it.
So
So it's
Yevarechecha.
Yevarechecha.
Yevarechecha. Adonai.
Yeah,
V'yismerecha.
good.
Yair. Adonai. Panav. Alecha. V'chuneka. Yisa. Adonai. Panav. Elecha. V'ya sem. Licha. Shalom.
Yay. One tiny thing in the Chuneka. So when you have that little dot and the yud, the yud is pronounced. So it's the Chuneka, the Chuneka.
Chuneka. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there the yud is pronounced the.
Okay.
And actually, if it's a dot and the yud, or just the dot, it's pronounced the same way. Vichuneka. Very nice. Now, this is a hard one because, like I said, there's a couple of irregular words here. Somebody else want to try it? This is a good one. This is for tonight. We're going to try it out.
Okay.
Michelle, you want to try it?
Sure.
Oh, Francis. Okay, go ahead, Francis.
V'charechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Nice job. Very nice. Just the first word that when you have the shva and it sounds like it in the word it. So it would be yevarechecha. 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 Na, 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 na. Okay. So we'll use these words a lot in songs, Debbie Friedman songs, and all kinds of songs. Now, we know Shalom Aleichem, so I'm not going to spend the time on it now because, oops, it's after 2 already. All right, but I'm giving you the order of the Seder of the Seder. So first is the candles, then bless the family, then you sing Shalom Aleichem. Okay, now page 2. So now in your, oh, Helene, I wrote to Julia again, and I told her to send you the book. Did she do it? Not yet. All right, I'm going to go back to where I have it, and I'm going to try to send it to you, okay, myself. There was you and there was somebody else who didn't have it, I think Karen. Okay, so in the Shalom Aleichem workbook, this is the practice page where they're giving you phrases that are in Vayachulu. So Vayachulu is said before the rest of the Kiddush Friday night. Vishamru is said at the end of services Shabbat morning. All right, before the rabbi does the Kiddush. That's Vishamru. But this is done at night, at Friday night in your house, or if you were in services. So now we have practice. So we have 6 lines of practice. So this is good. All right. So the first line says, Vayachulu. Remember the 3 dots to a slant, horizontal? That's U. It's called a kibbutz. That's the name of the vowel. A kibbutz. It's like the little red kibbutz. Vayachulu. So say it. Vayachulu.
Chulu.
The next word is Vayachal.
Vayachal.
Yeah, I pronounced the yud and I pronounced the shva under it. So it was Vayachal. Vayachal. Now we have the word the chol, because any combination of kol, mikol, chol, that is, again, that's just not part of the rule. It's an exception. The chol, mikol. And you know this from mikol halelot, mikol halelot halayla, right? You know this from Pesach. Okay, why is this night manish shana halayla hazeh mikol halelot, from all the nights, laila leilot, nights. So you have Michol, and now we have a dot. We have Mikol, but that's or. Mikol, Michol. Okay. Then line 2 says Hashamayim,
Hashemayim.
the Haaretz.
Baha'aretz.
Do those words mean anything to anybody? Shemayim.
Like bread.
Heaven and earth.
What?
Heaven and
Right,
earth.
right. Who said that? Heaven
Cheryl,
and earth. Okay,
heaven
so
and
they're
earth?
trying to give you. Yes. Hashemayim is heaven. Yes, Michu. Hashemayim. Hashemayim. Okay, the heavens will rejoice. The Haaretz, Aretz. When we talk about Israel, Eretz, Israel, the land of Israel. And I told you when Israelis say it, as they say, I'm going to Haaretz next week. And everybody who's Jewish or Israeli knows the land. What other land? Where would I be going? I'm not going to China. I'm not going to Korea. I'm going to the land. That's my land. All right. Like we say, this land is your land. This is my land. Haaretz. That's it. Hashemayim the Haaretz, the sky and the earth. Okay. Then it says, Et Hashemayim. Et
Hashemayim.
Et in Hebrew is a function of the language. It is not translated. You don't translate it. That's just a word. It's there for grammatical purposes. Et Hashemayim et haaretz. Now in line 3 it says, you know this word, Elohim.
Elohim.
And again, Elohim. You think it's important that you can say this, right? Elohim, they're saying it 3 times because they want you to know this word. Okay. No, not Chadad, but Elohim is important. The one in the, they go, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Eloheinu. That means our God. That's different. That's in Passover too. Line 4, Bayom Hashvi'i. Okay. How many days do we sit Shiva? 8. How many?
8. Well,
How many?
7.
7. Sheva means 7. Bayom Hashvi'i, on the 7th day. The 7th day would be Shabbat.
Saturday.
Saturday, but they don't say Saturday in Hebrew. They say Shabbat or Yom Hashvi'i. Tonight is Yom Hashishi. Okay,
Right.
the 6th day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6th day, Yom Hashishi. 7th day, Shabbat. Okay, by Yom Hashvi'i, and then it says by Yom Hashvi'i. 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 Okay. Then that's et Yom Hashvi'i. And then next it says Uvayom Hashvi'i. Vayom Hashvi'i. Line 5 says Malachto. Asher. Asa. Okay, they're talking about the work, Malacha's work, his work that he did. Malachto Asher Asa. Then it says Mikol. Malachto. Asher. Asa. Okay, so you have in Asher, you have an Aleph. Aleph is silent, just pronounce the vowel under it. Asher. Ayin is silent, just pronounce the vowel under it. Asa. Asher. Asa. Okay. Mikol. Malachto. Asher. Bara. Elohim. La'asot. And then line 6. So they're getting you ready for this Vayechulu, this paragraph. Vayishbot. Bayom. Hashvi'i. Now they're finishing the line. Kivo. Shavat. Uvayom. Hashvi'i. Shabbat.
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 Does anyone know what the word Shabbat means?
Shabbat.
Or Shabbat, if I put the dot in?
Shabbat is the
rest.
Sabbath.
Shabbat.
Sabbath.
But what is Shabbat?
And do you know
Rest?
what? That he rested. Shabbat means he rested. Shabbat or Shabbat. That's so
Okay.
now you know. And on the seventh day, he rested because he worked hard on the sixth day and all the days before. And this, by the way, if you have a chumash, I cited it down. You should, if you have a Torah, a chumash, you should look and you will find in chapter 2, verses 1, 2, and 3. And I gave you the translation. Here it is. If you look at the third page. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. The heavens and the earth and all they contain were completed. On the seventh day, God completed the work which he had been doing. He ceased on the seventh day from all the work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, because on it he ceased from all his work of creation. And this comes from Bereshit, Genesis. It starts with chapter 1, the last words in chapter 1, but it is really that, and there was evening and morning. That comes from chapter 1, verse 31. And then the rest of it is from chapter 2, verses 1, 2, and 3. So this is about the end of creation and the resting, and why we have Shabbat, that God says, I'm taking a nice long nap. Yom HaShvi'i, the seventh day, I worked hard, and humans, we work hard, we deserve a rest. That's Shabbat. So this is the beginning. This is what we call Vayachulu, and it's the introduction to the rest of the Kiddush on Friday night. And like I said, on Saturday morning, they introduce the rest of the Kiddush with Vishamru. So on page 2, I gave you, after the practice, I gave you the whole thing, and I put numbers on it. I like the way they organize this, because they did it by, in every case except for one, the end of like a sentence. So this is how the whole thing goes from Vayechu. I'm going to read the whole thing. And follow me, track it with your finger. It goes, Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Boker. And it was evening and it was morning. Yom HaShishi, the sixth day. Vayechulu Hashemayim v'ha'aretz v'chol tzva'am. Line 2. Vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i malachto asher asa. Line 3. Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol malachto asher asa. Line 4. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayekadesh oto. And line 5. Kivo shavat. Mikol malachto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Line 4 is very nice.
I have a question. I have a question on a word. It seems like, I know we're reading and we're not to go by hearing, but it seems like the only way I remember hearing that first word for number 4 was Yevar, V'yacharecha, and
no, that's a different word. Vayivarechacha. This is
it's a different
vayivarech.
word. Okay.
Different word.
Okay.
Vayivarech.
Vayivarech. Okay.
Vayivarech. Okay. And that means, and God blessed, and blessed God, and God blessed, you don't translate, Yom HaShvi'i, the seventh day, Vayakadesh, and sanctified it. Okay, and that's Shabbat talking about. And then on Kivo Shabbat, because on it he rested. He sanctified it and he rested.
Yevarechacha. That's the word I
right,
Yevarechacha. And I don't know what that means, but okay.
Okay, Yevarechacha is the beginning of the priestly blessing. Yevarechacha v'yishmerecha.
Oh, okay.
When they do the priestly blessing and they call the Kohens to come up front and they do duchening, where you put the talus on your head.
Right.
Yevarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Okay. Okay, so after this, and we have a little time, this is good, is the Kiddush that we sing. Now, there's no particular melody for Vayichulu. It's just said. Just say it, recite it, you read it. But the Kiddush, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodesh b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tachila mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. And here's where people join in. Kivanu b'charta Yotanu kidashta
Mikol
Ha'amim V'shabbat kodeshecha Be'ahava uvratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. So that's what you're used to, but the cantor will do that. And then I think Friday night, I don't go much on Friday night, but I think they do Vayichulu Shemayim. But that is done at home. And then you can do the rest of the Kiddush. So what I'm giving you is everything to do at home. I'm not sure if the cantor does that at services. Like I said, I don't go much. I like to be at home on Friday night. Now, go to page 3. You have time
I have a question. Why do we do hand washing for Shabbat?
I'm going to tell you a couple of things. Okay, the hand washing. Because, and I took down some notes and I'm going to tell you a few things before we'll finish it. Okay, I asked you why 2 chalas. Does anyone know why 2 chalas? 2 chalas in Hebrew are called chala, chalot, 2 chalot. Anyone know why? There's 2 reasons.
It's
Anyone
because
look it up?
if you go back to Exodus, when they were told that they were to honor the Sabbath, they would go out to gather manna, but on Friday night there would be a double portion so that they didn't have to gather it on Saturday. And so we bake 2 challahs to last both days.
Okay, and what happened? So there was a double portion that was rained down, the manna, right? The man. And if somebody was like greedy and they grabbed up that double portion on Friday, what happened to it? It got
You mean on
wormy.
the other days,
It went
aside from
bad.
Friday? It went bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they gathered, I'm sorry. If they, take it back. They gathered the double portion so they wouldn't have to work on Shabbat. But if they just got the Friday portion and then they said, oh, I'll gather my stuff on Shabbat, that part went bad. So there was no gathering on Saturday, no work. Okay, and that was while they were trekking in the wilderness. There's another reason. There are 2 times when we have the commandments in the Torah. And it tells us shamor v'zachor, guard, shamor, and remember. So keep and remember. Shamor is to guard. Shamor v'zachor. So those are the 2 reasons why we have the 2 loaves. I looked up also, why do we cover the challah? Because when the manna fell, it was encased with dew on the top and on the bottom. So we cover the challah because we were remembering that fall of the manna when they were in the wilderness. So we cover it. That also in memory of being in the desert. Then there's another thing, why no talking? So I had said to you when we finish with
Hand washing until the blessing.
Shalom Aleichem, and we do the blessing on the wine. After the blessing on the wine, we go and we wash. Okay, so we do the blessing on the wine. We wash the hands. We just did the Kiddush.
Why do we wash the hands?
We wash the hands Because this is reminding us that the Kohanim, when they got the Truma, which was a gift of wheat from the Israelites, the Kohanim washed up. And they say, so we're remembering the gifts we gave to the Kohanim because they didn't have land that Levites and the Kohanim didn't have their own land that the
Okay,
tribes
so
had.
I'm a Levite. Do I have to wash my hands?
So now they didn't want to distinguish between when you're washing hands, who's a Kohen and who's a Levi and who's just a plain old Israelite. So they didn't want to make the Israelites feel bad. So everybody washes, everybody washes. Okay. But that was, they would wash up the Kohanim before they would partake of this gift called Truma.
Right, the Levites, just like when we do things for the Kohanim, the Levites go and put on the talits of the Kohanim.
Yes.
Or in our
there's
synagogue,
different, they're called.
we dress
Yeah,
the
it's-
Kohanim.
Right. So if you touched something that was dirty before you washed, or after you washed, you should wash again. Okay, like if you playing with the dog or something, it should be washed again so that you're clean. Your hands are clean, pure when you take the challah. And the challah represents the truma, the offering that was given to the Kohanim. And that was what every Israelite had to donate to the Kohanim because they didn't have their own land and they didn't have their own wheat growing. They didn't have their own stuff. So they depended on the Israelites for their sustenance. And a lot of the sacrifices, like the burnt sacrifices, we give that to the Kohanim as their food. They eat it. Okay, so washing the hands. Okay, so we've done the Kiddush, the beautiful Kiddush. There's a two-handled laver that people use, and it's called, I just had it in my head, a shep. It's called a shep. That's the word for it. You can use anything. You can just
Do
put
you
your
have to
hands
do it 3
You
times?
can use a cup. Okay, there's different customs. When I just looked up, because I usually do on the left, on the right, on the left 3 times. Some people do that. Some people do 2 times on one hand and 2 times on the other. People have different customs. As long as you wash your hands, get to both sides, it's fine. And then there's a custom of the no talking because we're emulating the Kohanim, how they would be, I guess, sacred. They wouldn't talk until they ate the challah. We do the same thing. You don't have to do it. Some people, when they're in the synagogue, there's a meal in the synagogue, they hum a melody, and someone tries to talk to you, you go. So it's kind of hard if someone doesn't observe this tradition and they're having a meal with you and they start to chat and you don't answer them, you'll have to tell them why you were being antisocial. All right, so here's a blessing for the washing of the hands, and we're almost finished with the whole thing. This is great. It goes Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Okay. Asher Kidshanu b'mitzvotav, and this is all easy. Vitzivanu. 3 new words. Al Nitilat Yadayim.
Nitilat.
That's a special word, Nitilat. It's only used to refer to washing of the hands. It doesn't mean washing in modern Hebrew. But Nitilat Yadayim, apparently, that's the phrase that they use in Hebrew. There are other words for washing in Hebrew, but this is not rachza. When you have in Passover, rachza is washing. Okay, so al nitilat yadayim, and we haven't seen that tet in a long time. Netilat yadayim. Okay, wash the handle. Okay, you wash your hands. Now you're clean and you're going to approach the challah, which is covered. Okay, I'll give you a little hint to make your challah really nice. I get the challah from the store. Before we eat, I put it in the oven. Before I put it in the oven, I put an egg wash on it. I just take an egg and I mix it up and I use a brush. I put egg on the challah. And I put sesame seeds on it. Then I put it in the oven for like 5 minutes and it comes out like it was in a package. Now it feels like it was brand new fresh challah. Tastes delicious. That has a little crusty taste on the outside and it's warm and it's delicious. Okay, that's my secret. Now, so the 2 chalot, and we say Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam
Eloheinu Melech
Melech HaOlam Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz. Hamotzi, who takes out Lechem, bread, Min from Haaretz, the land. Okay.
So Carol, I have a
And,
question. Do you
Yeah.
keep the challah covered while you're blessing it, or do you take the cover off when you bless it?
Good question. We keep it covered, then we take it off. And if I don't have two full challahs, if I have I have two challah rolls or a challah and roll or whatever you have like that. It doesn't have to be two challahs because we are only two people here to eat two challahs. I'd be freezing those for a long time. So you can get the little challah rolls, delicious. And then you have your two, and then you pull a piece off. You put some salt on it because that's in remembrance of temple days. The sacrifices always had salt. So you put a little bit of salt and then delicious. I made falafel last night, so I happen to have a nice amount of hummus left over. My hummus is better than the store-bought. I have the hummus left over, so I'll probably dip it in
Good,
that.
Francis.
Francis, you've got your mine's still rising, but I'm 3 hours early.
All right, did anybody get these words? I
Beautiful.
said it's a challenge before we say shalom. Heaven, anyone? Heaven,
Hashemayim.
I am.
earth,
All
Alright, no.
All right.
all right.
All right.
He rested. He rested. Don't think too hard. It's a no-brainer.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Okay.
Shabbat.
Shabbat. Okay, King of the Universe. Look at me, Mom, King of the Universe. That was James Cagney on top of a building before they shot him.
Boy.
Okay, King of the Universe.
Eloheinu. Eloheinu?
Melech.
Melech.
Elohim.
Nope. Melech. King.
Melech.
Melech.
Melech
Haolam.
Haolam.
Melech Haolam.
Melech.
Okay. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu, our God, Melech HaOlam, King of the universe. How about fruit of the vine? Not fruit of the loom. Fruit of the vine.
Agafen. Yeah.
Peri Hagafen.
Free Hagafen.
Peri. Free.
Oh,
fruit.
Peri
Peri
Hagafen.
Hagafen. How about, I meant to say in the beginning. What's the first, the name of the first book of the?
Bereshit.
Yeah.
Bereshit.
There is in Bereshit. Good. Holy.
Kadosh.
Kadash.
Kadosh.
Kadosh. Kadosh.
Right. He made us holy. He sanctified us. Kidshanu.
Kidshanu.
Kidshanu. He made us holy. How about the sixth day? Yom.
Yom
Yes. Yom HaShishi. And the seventh day.
Shabbat. Shabbat.
Well, you
Shivi.
could, but this, what about, it has to have the number
Shadi.
7. Yom
Yom
HaShvi'i.
Shabbat.
Okay, but Yom HaShvi'i is in the Kiddush. Yom HaShishi and Yom HaShvi'i. Okay.
It's also
I think
Shabbat,
that's it.
yes?
Yeah, that would be the Sabbath day. But actually, the seventh day is Yom HaShvi'i because Sheva, remember that you're saying you're sitting Shiva for 7 days. Shiva comes from Sheva. Sheva is 7. Bear Sheva, 7 wells. So Shvi'i, Yom HaShvi'i is actually the 7th day. Yom HaShishi, the 6th day. Shesh Sheva. Achat, Shtaim, Shalosh, Arba, Chamesh, Shesh Sheva. 6, 7. Shishi, 6th. Shvi'i, 7. Ta-ta! We did it. All right. So now, any part of this that you need to have reviewed, we will. But next week, we're going to go on. We all decided we will not have class the day after Thanksgiving. We have a class next week. And next week, I might try again to go back to some of the Friday night service. Gently. A little bit at a time. Okay. And I also am going to go over that Av ending and the Ach ending. I'm going to take 2 practice pages. And we'll go over those quickly, just some of the features, phonetic features of Hebrew, just to review with you, the things that are like the little loopy things. and then we'll go into a Friday night service. Okay.
Okay.
Anything particular you want to know for Friday night? Don't tell me, Ashrei.
I'm going tonight. I usually go on Shabbos morning, but I'm going tonight. Try
I'm
to
going
practice
tomorrow.
all this. Maybe I'll have a question after that.
All right, and if there's any particular psalms of the Tehillim that you want to do for Friday night that you would like to do, then let me know. Shoot me a little email, and then we'll start with those. Okay, the easy ones like Romamu, where there's a lot of. We're going to do the ones that have a lot of repetition. But Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu
Gonna do
l'Hakol
Lahadodi?
Romamu, and it repeats. Okay, ki,
Are we gonna
ki,
do
ki,
Lahadodi?
ki, kadosh Adonai. All right, so the fun ones, what's that? Lachadodi. Yes, we could do Lachadodi. That's a big one. We could
Yeah.
start doing Lachadodi. All right, and any particular melody? The slow one, the fast ones, a lot of melodies. Lachadodi, Shabbat, da 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 da. Lechadodi, lekrakala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabala, hey, da, da, da.
They
Right,
usually,
that was better.
I think at our synagogue, they do the lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala p'nei
P'nei
Shabbat.
Shabbat, nekabala.
I think
Okay.
that's what they're doing. I haven't
Every
been going
synagogue does
Fridays.
it differently.
Yes.
Every synagogue, probably all of your synagogues have a different cantor, a different
I
favorite.
think
that
our
they do.
cantor mixes it up. Sometimes
Ours
she
does
does
too.
one.
Ours does.
I
Yeah,
haven't been in
yeah.
a Friday service since the last time Sisterhood did Sisterhood Shabbat. But usually I
Okay,
never go
I'm going
Friday night.
tomorrow to services Parsha Vayetze, and I'm going to be Gabbai Sheni, and that's that. I haven't been in a couple of weeks because my dog has been sick and I've been taking care of her, but
Well, I'm
Frodo
home
lives. She's
finally.
still
I
with
can
us.
do it. So.
yeah, so that's good. So enjoy Shabbat Shalom, enjoy your meal.
Shabbat
Shalom, and
Shalom,
thank you
y'all.
very
Family.
much.
Shalom, everybody.
Thank you.
If
Take
you don't want
care.
to bless them in Hebrew, bless them in English.
Okay.
Carol, I have a
See you
quick
next
question.
week. Yeah,
I didn't take the beginning course, so I don't have the book either.
who's that?
Sherry
Jerry
Stein.
Stein?
Stein.
Okay. Jerry Stein.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, so that's, I know it's Karen, Sherry, and Helene. Okay. All righty. Try to get it to you. Very good. Okay, ladies. Shabbat
All right.
Shalom.